What's good, Dynasty players? I'm Rhett Manuel. You can find me on Twitter at rmanuelsports, and welcome to the Fantasy and Frames 2023 Dynasty Target Profile Series, where we'll be looking at players in the NFL you should go out and try to acquire for your Dynasty leagues this year in order to help you not only win championships this year, but in seasons to come. However, before we get to it, just a reminder to head on over to our YouTube channel, subscribe for more informative and actionable fantasy football content, and follow us all over social media. You can also see all of our work from the hardworking analysts from Fantasy and Frames over at fantasyandframes.com. And with that, let's talk about DeAndre Swift, the running back for the Detroit Lions. Swift is still only 24 years old and was hyper efficient in 2022, despite missing 3 games. He graded out as the number 19 running back in Pro Fantasy Focus's efficiency metrics in 2022, largely due to his ability to make people miss and his pass catching ability. He did all that on less than 100 carries for the season, but more of that later. Speaking of pass catching, my guy is underrated in an offense that plays to his strengths. Last season, he averaged 1.3 points per reception in half PPR formats. So, we need to talk about now why DeAndre Swift is a buy. He has yet to be used like a workhorse would in the NFL, but he's been more productive than a workhorse like Travis Etienne on a points per game basis. It can be argued that his injury history has held him back. But truthfully, in Dynasty, we all know that low mileage matters. The longer you have a guy, the more productive he can be. And Swift's limited carries in the league make him a long-term Dynasty play. In the pass game, let's talk about it. He was on field for 87% of Detroit's passing snaps in 2022. That's huge. And he was a big play threat when he actually got the ball in his hands. He was 6th among running backs with a 7.3% breakaway rate. 13 of those 99 carries he had went for over 10 yards, so there's some pop in his legs. He averaged 5.5 yards per carry. That was 5th among running backs with at least 80 attempts in 2022. And while doing all this, he made guys miss, sporting a shifty 27.7% juke rate. My man gets volume too. He averaged 4.5 targets per game and 4 receptions last year. That was good for 10th among running backs despite the time he missed. So it all sounds great, but what really separates him? What makes him great? What makes him a true buy? In my opinion, that happens to be the fact that he created 4.31 yards per attempt, which was number 2 among running backs in the league. Every salad, whether it's good materials, bad materials, good ingredients, bad ingredients, he's making them chicken salad when he touches the ball. He's going to be efficient and maximize those chances more often than not. So with Swift, we all know where it can go bad, so let's talk about it. It's injuries. We've known it's injuries from the jump. He's missed 3 games every year that he's been in the league for 3 seasons now. But when we look at those injuries, an ankle sprain, an AC joint sprain, shoulder strain, concussion, there's nothing to scare me to believe that he's not going to be a long-term Dynasty asset. These are all minor injuries. There's no torn anything, no Achilles tendons, nothing like that. So feel comfortable going with him. It's also likely that just like last year, he's going to have to share the ball again this year. Last year, it happened to be Jamal Williams. And this year, it could possibly be Williams again, or it might be another drafted running back. But whoever it is, Detroit has always found a way to scheme Swift effectively, where both he and his backfield partner can be viable fantasy assets. That timeshare shouldn't scare you off. So now that we're done talking about that, let's go into what makes him Dynasty relevant in the long term. In my opinion, what you're looking at in Swift for next year. If he misses his normal 3 games, I still believe he's looking at a high running back 2 upside. But if he misses less time, if he misses no time, this is, in my opinion, a likely high running back 1 upside type of guy. Once again, due to that passing volume. Also, in terms of trade value, I believe it's still there. Based off of data we've seen on Dynasty League football, he can probably be had for a late first-round draft pick in rookie drafts, or a low-end running back 1 like a Tony Pollard, or a low-end wide receiver 1 like a Deebo Samuel. So in conclusion, guys, long story short, even with the injury history, ride the Swift wave. I believe he's far too efficient with the ball in his hands to ignore. So that about does it for this Dynasty Target Profile. A reminder to subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as follow the rest of our content on social media and at fantasyandframes.com. I'm Rhett Manuel, and I can be found on Twitter at rmanuelsports. You all be blessed and have a great day.